It's Madden NFL 24, and we'll see Tony Pollard. You look at league leaders and see his name, third best in the league coming in. It's the Cowboys and the Commanders, and it comes your way next.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap, as it'll be the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Washington Commanders. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about this Commanders team coming into play here today. They come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, the streak continues, doesn't it? They come in a perfect 10-0.
And it's not just that they're winning, it's how they're winning. All phases of the game coming together for this team.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. It's a foot race, and they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Cowboys. So how about that? You want to talk about coming into a hostile environment and just silencing the crowd? They just did it.
Couldn't be a better start. There is no way. All week long, they've talked about having this type of a start, but I think they looked at it from the offensive team's perspective. You know, get the opening kickoff. You guys control the ball. A lot of people are now going to say, okay, now your offense, will they be out of whack? No, not at all. They're going to be absolutely happy. They're relaxed. They took care of business for them. They don't have any pressure now. They can just go play.
Aubrey good with a PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. So how about that for an intriguing start? The opening kickoff of the ball game, return for a touchdown. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. And trotting out there leading them is their fourth-year quarterback.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
To throw right away is Howell. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time here with Brian Robinson. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. You look at this Cowboy defense. They were terrific a week ago in the win over the Lions.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. 22 yards there, a first down.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
Powell throwing on first down here. That's going to be caught. But he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Boy, no problems getting down the field here on this opening drive. They've looked really sharp in the early going, and they've come up with some big plays already. Here's another That's going to set up 1st and goal.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now Howell. Dodson has it. Touchdown, Commanders. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Commanders march right down the field on the opening drive to take a first-quarter lead. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
Hey, they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. Whatever they said appears to have worked. Elliott good with a PAT. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. So here now the Cowboy offense onto the field to get their first crack at it. And they'll be led out by their quarterback now in his 3rd season in the league.
I like this guy. And the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. So, Charles, you talk about this offense, how well they played. I mean, the defense, too, really. But they're sitting at 10-0 now on the year. 4-0, 5-0, that's nice. But once you start hitting double digits with these wins and no losses, I think the seriousness of the situation, it just has to ramp up.
Yeah, and when you do say 10-0, it can't scare you as a team. Just think about it this way. For most of the year, they've been going to win their division and get to the playoffs. Now the playoffs are just about a foregone conclusion. So now they have to down-focus their thoughts about getting home field advantage and finishing unbeaten, and they need to make sure they keep it in that order.
Stroud on 3rd down now. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. They, of course, coming into this one in the midst of a tough losing streak. They did get helped out by the open week last week, and in talking with him, all indications were, Charles, that was a very helpful break.
Yeah, I know a lot of teams, coaches, they hate taking time off in the midst of a losing streak because they think they have to stay on their toes and punch their way out of it. But occasionally, you get that open week, you step back, evaluate what's been going wrong, see what you can put in that can move you forward, and maybe you get a chance to breathe a little bit and kind of start over.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 10 yards there, good for a Washington first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy set the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 47 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
2nd and 10, Howell. Out route looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Howell going to audible to something else. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And the Commanders are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Now, that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
This Cowboy defense trying to hold him out of the end zone. They've run it to 3rd and goal. Robinson is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington.
Well, he picked the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
One play has them to the 37 here for 1st and 10. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Stroud. The short one there taken in by Ferguson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide it. With the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
And good yardage there on 1st down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
2nd down in the yard.
Check. Bronco switch. Ready.
7 yards there and a 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Play action. Stroud now. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. These two teams, you might remember, met earlier in the year in Arlington with the Cowboys winning that ball game. So they're looking for another win here in Washington to take the season sweep. On second down, it's Fox, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 15-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Pollard will take it up the gut. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, is it bring in your tight end?
Touchdown! Tony Pollard with career touchdown number 70. And the Cowboys are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. But not only, Charles, did he beat double coverage to make the catch, and then as soon as he did, locked his gaze upfield and made sure to reach the end zone.
Go grab your dictionary, partner. Look up determination, and his picture is going to pop right up. How about him getting through multiple defenders, finding his way through coverage, and making sure he got to the end zone? That's a big-time play right there.
Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Brian Robinson Jr. making his way back onto the field. And you see the last drive, great chunk of yardage, the touchdown on 5 carries. And offensively, everything just looked in sync, didn't it?
It did, and the reason that it was in sync is because it's a combination of play calling, game plan, offensive line marrying up with all of their blocks. But don't forget the receivers out on the perimeter. Any type of a long run, the receivers have had a hand in that because they've occupied people downfield. And, of course, give the big credit to the man with the football. Great vision, good movement, gets to the end zone.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Powell, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Damone Clark able to record his 5th sack of the season. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Washington going to send out their punter. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Washington going to send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Play action. Here's Stroud. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it's 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now Stroud. Flush to his right. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. Now here's Stroud on 3rd down. Swinging this out for Pollard. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
So the kick from here on a field goal would have been right at 53 yards. But instead, offense out there. They're going for it. And Stroud now to throw. Flushed it, and he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down. And this defense will take over right at midfield. A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Howell trying to get his offense to hurry up and get set.
Brings up 2nd and 17.
Well, Howell's going to mix it up here. He'll drop to throw. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down.
Tackled back at the 41-yard line.
One last shot before the break. Howell. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we've hit halftime all even at 14 apiece. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season is going to be about 2/3 complete after this weekend. So lots to get to as we check out what's going on here in Week 11. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly, where you see the final score there. Justin Fields, strong as usual in the victory as his guys run their record now to 7-3. From there, we head down south to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting LA Rams. Drake London, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. As you can see, the score there in the 2nd quarter. Jonathan Taylor, 2 touchdown runs on the afternoon. We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They're all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference. Both teams currently making their final adjustments. We're getting ready for the second half. So we'll send it back up to FedEx Field and hand things back over to Brandon Gott.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. Here come the Commanders for the first possession of the third quarter. This offense ready for the first drive of the third quarter. Well, quarters number 1 and 2 entertaining. We saw some good offense points put up, Charles, and all tied on the scoreboard.
And it sets us up for what could be a really fun second half because we've seen both sides score almost at will here in the first half. And now, here in the second half, getting the ball first, you've got to think, hey, we can go out and really run our offense the way we did in the first half. But if I'm a defensive player, all I'm thinking is, can I make a play to really help out my team and break this streak of offense?
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Throwing here, Howell. Pass complete. He's got Hendershot. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
3rd and 2. Here's Howell. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain it.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
Well, partner, I would say just avoid play action, but that's not just been the problem. This defense, they've been getting pressure on all types of pass plays and really piling up the sacks in this contest.
So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, he tried to bounce it outside, but that's obviously not his game. He's too much of a straight line runner.
Yeah, him in the outer third of the field, not a recipe for success. That time a loss. Meanwhile, Stroud's throw there complete to Allen. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And they'll throw it with Stroud here, 1st and 10. Here's a screen now for Pollard. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A good pickup there on first as a screen pass gets him 8.
Good call there on 1st down. And, Brandon, I'm getting better over the years and not screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll try and run with their fullback. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
With the ball on the 30, here's 2nd and 4. Stroud to throw it. Well, this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far, brings up 3rd down.
Our routes are always timing routes, and if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he let him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. He finds his man, Pollard. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
Ready.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. All square, 14 apiece to score as we get ready for the 4th quarter.
19 Lions.
Stroud looking to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
Washington on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
All right, let's put the check mark on the defensive side of the ledger there. Really nice tackle by the man in the middle. But why was he able to get that done? Because he has 4 down linemen in front of him, 2 tackles, 2 ends. And what they often try to do is create what we call a funnel. Right to the man in the middle linebacker, who often leads his team in tackles.
Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. They'll run forward with Pollard, and he will have the 1st down before he's tackled at the 12. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Stroud. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
And in the second half of the tie game, every decision gets magnified. And here, if he forces this ball, it could be intercepted. So that's the prudent play to just airmail it out of bounds.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
3rd and 5. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. He had him there open, but he missed it, and it's incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
And his kick here is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. The Washington offense set to take over again. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. A 1st and 10 here for Hal and the Commanders at their own 25-yard line. They'll set up to run the quarterback draw. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And Howe will throw it. Throw to the right here, taken in by McLaurin. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. And that's good for a gain of 6. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Howell trying to pick it up on 3rd. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
Here's 2nd and 10. Howell looking to throw again. Checks this one down to Robinson. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
Howell throwing on 3rd down here. And that is incomplete.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Washington goes for it, but it does not pan out. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. So here are the Cowboys to take over. They've got the lead yet again in this ball game with their winning streak right now sitting at 10.
Hurry, hurry! Pat the 60, pat the 60. Alert, alert!
Well, they've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And he gets gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
Let's go.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a first down in field goal range already. Stroud now on 1st and 10. For Keenan Allen, that's complete. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So 2nd and 4 from the 22. Now again here to Pollard. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Here's 3rd and 6. Here's Stroud. Now they go screen. It's complete. And even though he gets out of bounds to stop the clock, it's not going to matter. That first down going to be enough to write a finish to this one. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this fourth quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Stroud looking to change the play. Five points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down. And now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Dancing to his left. Oh, no, he lost the football. And that was ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself. We hear them discuss red zone efficiency a lot, CD, and they almost gave that one up in the red zone. Luckily, they'll have another shot.
And you and I both know that every offensive coordinator, play caller in the league, they take particular delight in their red zone calls because those are the payoff ones. But you can't call a play if your team doesn't have the ball. Got to secure it.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long. It'll be a handoff to Pollard. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to swell the lead to 6. And his kick is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. Here's 1st and 10.
Here we go, Shaq.
Here's Howell. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Christian Harris able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner. Although on that last play they were so backed up, it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone. In this case, though, it didn't happen. Perhaps next time.
So for Dallas, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Washington, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.